Hey, I'm Joshua Levy. With me is Grace, and we're co-hosting the Movie Bunch.
On this episode of the Movie Bunch, we will be reviewing Moonrise Kingdom, released in 2012 and directed by Wes Anderson. This is going to be an interesting topic for me, as I'm a big fan of most Wes Anderson films.
Grab your popcorn and let's begin. Woo!
Walt, where the hell are you?
Right here.
Does it concern you that your daughter has just run away from home?
That's a loaded question.
The main plot of this film is about escape, forbidden love, and outcasts, but there are many subplots. How do they work together?
There are two main characters. First, we have Orphan Sam, who's having trouble finding the right home to fit in. And we have Susie, who is struggling with anger management in her parents' relationship troubles, which is a whole nother plot in itself, but we can discuss that later. The interesting thing about this movie is the way that Susie and Sam connect, and how the other characters see that and use it to reflect upon their own lives and relationships. You can see how they change. Duffy, for instance, he sees himself reflected in Sam's inability to make friends and later goes on to form a bond with Sam. He also sees Sam reflected in his own love life and how he wishes Susie's mother, Laura, could be his own sort of Susie or have that connection with someone. Another one of the interesting things about this movie is the feeling of people not being able to fit in with their social environments or the people around them. It's not just about our two main characters as outcasts. Everyone is an outcast in this film, but in some sense they already have those connections and they need to come to realize them in their respective worlds.
What do you think the theme is, and what does it mean?
The theme is a coming-of-age story with an intent to show what love is. Everyone in this story wants love, they just don't know how to find it. Sam and Susie find each other and try to create a world of their own, leaving behind those people that they don't feel as attached to.
What does Sam and Susie's relationship symbolize in this film, and how does their relationship impact the other relationship in this movie?
They basically symbolize the ideal relationship that everyone in this film is looking for. Sam and Susie impact those around them in two ways, either by direct conversations, like Susie and her mother discussing Duffy. The other way that Sam and Susie impact others is by other characters seeing them and admiring their relationship.
Wes Anderson does a great job with this script. The characters transform.
Yeah, he successfully makes every character go through a visual transformation. The father and the mother reconnect. Laura ends her affair. The scoutmaster finds his own love relationship. And Duffy finds a connection with Sam, as well as the scouts becoming more compassionate after the main antagonist is vanquished.
There are no paved roads, but here comes Jed with the mail. But instead, many miles of intersecting footpaths and dirt trails, and a ferry that runs twice daily from Stone Cove.
So, Grace, do you think Bob, the narrator, is a time traveler / elf in this film?
Well, I'm most definitely convinced that he's an elf. As for the time traveler theory, I can't quite support that very much. There are certainly ideas out there about the narrator's backstory. The time traveler theory believes that he is Sam from a different world in which Susie drowns when they're at the cove, and Sam becomes a time traveler to save Susie. Well, the important thing about the narrator is that he gives context to the story, and at one point plays a crucial role in finding Sam and Susie. Who knows, perhaps preventing Susie from drowning in the upcoming storm.
Wes Anderson did a great job with this film. How did it rank?
Well, statistically, Moonrise Kingdom is Wes Anderson's second most popular film, according to The Wrap, and is usually one of his most top-rated features. Personally, Moonrise Kingdom is one of my favorites, but perhaps it's because I was close to the age of Sam and Susie when I first watched the film. Therefore, I find it a lot more relatable than some others might find it.
The sound design is unique. Anderson added the church choir in the background. What does this mean, Grace?
Yeah, as we just heard a moment ago, the child choir has a lot of symbolic meaning beyond just being beautiful and distinct. The symbolism can be seen in the sense that church choir represents angels watching over Sam and Susie. The choir is heard when there's tension in the film, for example, when Sam and Susie are running to the church in the storm. The choir is a motif for the couple, basically.
All Anderson's film has a distinct art design, but Moonrise Kingdom art design is unique. I wonder why.
Yes, Anderson's films are known for being stylized, and you can see it in this film's yellow palette. Yellow itself symbolizes hope, deceit, cowardice, freshness, and healing. All of these can be seen in the transformation of characters in this film, and especially highlights the contrast when the main antagonist, the social worker, appears in a bright blue outfit in the island's yellow world. Michael Compton is a critic from the Bowling Green Daily News. He says that Moonrise Kingdom looks like a Norman Rockwell painting come to life, which I very much agree with, and it also goes along with Sam's interest as a painter.
How does the cinematography help the story?
Wes Anderson and the cinematographer Robert Yeoman frequently collaborate on Anderson's features. In this film, they continue the tradition of his long pans as well as a lot of soft lighting. There's not a lot of contrast in the lighting, but you can see that contrast in the colors instead. Apparently, they used a lot of natural lighting when filming outside, mostly shooting on cloudy days. I think the realistic lighting could be a way to contrast the film's fantasy elements in the story and perhaps emphasize all of this could be related in our daily lives.
How do the editing and visual effects enhance the storytelling?
There aren't a lot of special effects in this movie, but when they are used, they have a comedic purpose. We do have letters, painted backgrounds, and split screens. They also use checklists to represent the organized, methodical nature of the children in this movie. Using inserts such as letters, they add another dimension to the characters aside from seeing and hearing their actions. We also get to see how they manifest themselves in writing and in Sam's paintings.
I think the actors and actresses did a wonderful job in this film. What do you think, Grace?
There are certainly a lot of stars in this cast. Bill Murray, Frances McDormand, Ed Norton, Bruce Willis, Bob Balaban, Tilda Swinton, and Harvey Keitel. The list goes on. You can basically see this as an opportunity for a bunch of stars to take a break from their usual roles. For instance, Bruce Willis, who is famous for his action scenes, takes the role of an insecure scatterbrain, as well as offering the chance to see some actors you recognize take a break from their stereotypical roles.
C'est le temps de l'amour, le temps des copains et de l'aventure.
This movie is goofy, romantic, funny, and adventurous. I would recommend this movie. What about you, Grace?
It has my strongest recommendation. I think that has lots of things for everyone to enjoy, and going back to the theme of love, it successfully brings everything into the theme, ties it up with a bow, and leaves you feeling like the purpose of the film was fulfilled.
I had a lot of fun today, Grace.
Yeah, I just hope that my droning didn't bore the audience.
Oh no, it was interesting. Well, I'm Josh.
And I'm Grace.
And we're the Movie Bunch. Woo! Join us next time as we review the classic Ghostbusters. Who you gonna call? Woo! Music for this episode is courtesy of Lucid Sound, Francois Hardy, and Otis McDonald.